Hello, everyone, and good evening. Today is May the 10th, 2024, Friday. This is pre recorded as I have prayer tonight. But hello, it's good to be back with you again one more time. Hope everyone is doing well. And before I begin, I would like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. All right. Okay, so tonight we're going to jump right into it. Tonight we're going to talk about our impulse buying, our impulse spending. Okay, so we've been talking about being money minded, our credit score, getting a budget, getting our wants and needs. So we're going to dig a little bit deeper in it and talk about impulse spending. Why do we buy things on an impulse? Why do we spend beyond our means? We know we can't afford something, but sometimes we go ahead and we purchase it anyway when we know we don't have the money for it. Well, oh, wow. Different things, whatever the case might be, but we're going to dive into that a little bit on tonight. So I did a little research, and post spending is a thing. All right. And it's brought on by different things, emotional things, or whatever the case might be. So what is impulse spending or impulse buying? Impulse buying is typically an unplanned purchase that does not fit into your budget. So hopefully everybody's got their budgets now and you got everything all set. You're trying to stick to your budget, but sometimes we just go off on an impulse. Okay. So that's what an impulse is. If it's not written down, if it's not planned, if it's not in your budget, that's what it is. It can be influenced by a number of factors: emotional, instant gratification, or brand loyalty. Okay. So we're going to get a little bit into that. All right. So the emotional state. Um, Emotional state. The difference between a regular purchase and an impulse buying. Okay. According to the Financial Bureau, it usually an unplanned, something that's unplanned that may lead to someone buying something that they cannot afford, like I stated earlier. It's a need. If something A need is something that a person can't live without. Okay, so like food, shelter, that's a need. All right. On the other hand, a want is something that you desire, that you just want to have. All right, you can live without it, but you want it. Okay. So there's plenty of examples of impulse buying. Some of them could be grabbing a treat while you're at the store, at the grocery store. If you have a list and you go down the candy aisle and you see your favorite candy bar, or if you see something's on sale, well, let me pick that up anyway, and it's not on your list. It's not on your grocery list. That's what impulse spending is. That's an example of it. Purchasing last minute concert tickets, getting talked into buying some expensive sunglasses at a kiosk. These are some examples that I found of impulse spending. Splurging on a watch, signing up for a streaming subscription, something we talked about. Having dinner delivered instead of sticking to your plan, your cooked meals. You go grocery shopping, you got all the food, you planned out your meals for the week. Oh, tonight I just don't feel like cooking, so you do an impulsive buy and you're spending more money on food than you had anticipated. Okay. Buying something that's on sale, buying something um, that you don't need, but you see it's on sale. So these things are all just impulse spending. All right. Things that are not in your budget. And I know we all do it, and some people say or think this is not a problem, and it's just me or whatnot. You, especially if you start and begin to overspend. It's just like emotional eating. People have, people, myself too, has been challenged all of my adult life with weight and things like that, and we're finding more and more that there's something that causes these issues. Okay, so impulsive buying is more of an emotional thing. All right, some people do what they call retail therapy. They're an emotional spender. If they're going through a hard time or whatnot, something to make you feel better about yourself. Well, I'm going to go purchase this. I'm going to buy this. This is going to make me feel better. Okay. So it's possible for someone to recognize when they're spending. It is possible for somebody to recognize that they're spending impulsively. Some signs of this is seeking gratification. Again, like I said, something just to make you feel better. Seeking spending beyond your budget. You know you have a budget. You know you're trying to be money minded. You're trying to be better with things, trying to stay on your plan, but yet you go spend it anyway. Not being able to pay your bills. Okay. All of a sudden that brings on oh my goodness, I shouldn't have did that. It brings on that guilt factor from your impulsive spending. And now you've overspent, you can't afford it, you're getting yourself into more debt. If you're not already in debt, or if you're not in debt, you're getting yourself in debt because you're doing this impulsive spending. You're just going out and buying things for your emotional gain, okay, because it makes you feel good. These things are all signs of impulsive spending. So if you've ever done anything like this, anything that I've mentioned, that means that there's an issue there and we need to get it under control, okay? So the first thing you got to do is recognize that there's an issue. All right. Now you got to keep in mind, keep a difference, because when we talk about budgeting, all right, we have a budget. You're going to put in that budget things for you. You got a budget for your savings, your rainy day or whatever, but you do want to have a budget for those extracurricular activities, those dinners you may want to do, the movies. So what I'm talking about is when you're going over that budget. Okay, you're robbing from Peter to pay for Paul. Instead of paying the car payment, or I got another week or so or whatnot, I'm going to go purchase this, or I'm going to buy this because A, B, C, and D happened, and this is going to make me feel better about myself. All right. So these are the things that we are talking. So this research I had shows that 40 to 80% of the purchases that we do as Americans, according to this research, are impulse spending. And I really had to take a look at that and like, wow, that is so true. Even we can go back to week one when I talked about the Dunkin' Donuts and the Starbucks and just going to buy your specialty drinks or stuff. We're not budgeting this. We're not putting it in our budget. We go to the grocery store. We buy coffee and stuff. It's all about our emotions, our feeling. Oh, I don't feel like making it today. I'll just stop in a drive-through. It's just easier to do this, or it's easier to do that. We go off of how we feel. So what happens when we go off of how we feel? We go and spend money that we didn't budget to spend. So we all do it. So when I looked at that number, I'm like, that really does make sense. And according to the study that I looked up, the most cause for this is our emotional state of mind. Again, making us feel good about ourselves, the way we feel. Okay, I don't feel like it. I'm down. You may have had a disagreement with your boss. You may have your husband and had an argument with your husband. Your children ain't acting right and whatnot. And you're in school. You're stressed out. You're frustrated. So a lot of times, not just eating, people spend. Okay. A lot of people do, internet searching. Amazon, I love Amazon too, but Amazon can be the devil. It can be the devil because you go in there and you just start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. You start making impulse purchases, things you don't want, but you need. I'm sorry, things that you don't need, but you want, and it might be on sale, or it's Prime, so you can get it delivered for free or whatnot. So it's really, really an emotional thing with sometimes when it comes to our spending as well. Okay. Some of it I had mentioned earlier is brand loyalty. I'm one. Everybody who knows me knows I love Coach by brand loyalty. Okay. I don't know why. I just love it. So I like to get Coach. And it started with the purses. Now I have shoes. I have a t-shirt. I just ordered myself a carrying case for my toiletries when I go on vacation. I also ordered, and just matter of fact, just got in the mail sitting on the table a couple of days ago, a carrying case, because I've been doing a lot of international traveling, and you have to have the different plugs to put in there. Well, what happened? I went to Europe. I purchased one from Amazon. Okay. Didn't do my research when I went to Dubai. Have it, left it at home. So I had to purchase another one while I was in Dubai because I couldn't charge my phone, my tablet, my earpods, nothing. So I needed that. So what I did, I said, okay, well, I'm going to get me a case, and put it all together. Could have easily went on Amazon, or Walmart, got myself a little case. No, what do? My impulse buying, I saw one on Coach and I ordered the Coach one, not a need a want. But I had, I was okay because it was within my spending, my budget. All right. So purchasing it. But a lot of times in this case, in this instant, I had to do some discipline and get myself off of there to make sure I didn't buy another purse, because that would have been an impulse buy. Okay. So I'm trying to show you the difference. So a brand loyalty, if you love a certain brand or whatnot, you're going to go for that brand because you love using that product. All right. So the first thing is we have to identify this. This is part of all of our lives. Again, it goes back to what you need versus what you want. Okay. And I'm not saying that we can't have wants or shouldn't have wants. Having wants are great and no problem, but we got to budget for our wants and we got to make sure we stay in that budget, because when we get out of that budget for our wants, that's where the issues come from. Okay. So we got to identify, stick to it, get you a plan and make sure that it's there. Okay. And so you have that much more money for it. Okay. So I'm going to try to give us some tips on how to not to do all of this impulse buying. First one, I kind of already just went over, create a savings plan. Create an account, in your savings, in your budget, set aside X amount of dollars. And this is what I'm going to spend on my impulse buying, on my wants. And that's it. I'm not going to do anything else. Keep that in your mind, money minded. Stick with your budget. Okay. That's the biggest way to do it. All right. The second way is to make your list, make your shopping list. Okay. When you go grocery shopping, look through your cabinets, look in your refrigerator, look in your pantry, see what you have. Groceries are way too high to spend. And as you all know, yes, to be wasting. As you all know, I'm worked for Burger King for 38 years, and waste is a huge percentage in my field. Okay. And it's the same thing at home. We buy a lot of things and when we're at the store that we don't even use. Think about how much produce you threw away, how much milk you poured down the drain. Okay. How much cereal you've thrown away. You open a box of cereal, or the kids open a box of cereal and they got a quarter of a bag or a half a bag, and they leave the bag open, it's stale, we throw it away. Cereal is anywhere between $4 and $6, $7, $8 a box. So think about the amount of money that we're just throwing away. Okay. So try to make that shopping list and stick to it. Okay. Not just for groceries. School is about to be out in another month here. So what's going to happen? We're going to start planning, and parents are going to start planning to get their kids school clothes for next year. All right. So set yourself a budget. All right. So if you got 2 children and you want to get each child 5 outfits, right? Make that list. Okay. What are the outfits going to consist of? What you need to get. Okay. And then their undergarments, what they need to get, and start purchasing those things when you see them on sale. Okay. It's the same thing with the school supplies list. What I did having 4 children is when school supplies go on sale, August, September, I bought enough school supplies I budgeted and bought enough for the entire year. That way I didn't have to spend that extra money. You can get crayons for 25 cents a box, 50 cents a box. And when they're not on sale for school class supplies, you're probably going to pay $2, $3, $4 for them. Okay. So budget what you need and purchase what you need when you have that money, not just groceries. Make you a list. Okay. Even if it's a want. Okay. I love this pair. If that pair of shoes is in that budget, put it in and write it down and know that, okay, next month when I have that money, I'm going to be able to make that purchase. Now, if not, you can wait and talk about it, look for it and say, maybe it will go on sale, and wait a little while. Okay. So that's another part of impulse spending. I think we talked about a Coach purse that I saw, a purple one I put on there. Should I or shouldn't I? And I'm getting better. I still have not purchased that purse. So I've been waiting to see if it's going to go on sale. So it'll go down a little bit more, and it will be within my budget. So I don't overspend my budget. Why? Because I'm trying to be money minded. My goal is to be able to make sure that I have enough money when I retire, Lord spare my life, that I can live the way that I'm living now. I don't want to sacrifice anything. Okay. So in order to do that, I have to make small sacrifices now with my wants to be able to continue to live the way I want to live when I retire. Okay. So make your list. Okay. Number two, pay with cash. All right. A lot of times, okay, most people, including myself, don't carry cash anymore. Okay. So what you want to do is get your mind focused on the green, on that cash. If you don't have cash on you, if you don't have enough cash, don't purchase it. Yesterday I was somewhere and I looked up at the at their prices, and when I was in a restaurant, and I noticed the prices, and it said on one side it said cash, and the other side it said credit. And if you use your credit card or your debit card, they charge you more than if you use cash. If you use cash, it would be less. A lot of gas stations do that now. If you pay with cash, the gas is cheaper than if you use a credit card. Okay. So this hopefully will help you as well. If you don't have the money on you, it's not with, I can't get that now. It's a want. I'm going to write this on my list. I'll go out and, the next time I'm at the bank, I'll get the money and I'll be able to make that purchase with the cash. No money, no buy. Don't buy it. Okay. Because if you put it on that credit card and you think you're paying $199.99 for it, all right, when that 30%, between 20 and 30% interest hits that credit card, when you don't pay the whole thing off, you're paying a whole lot more for that item. Okay, so keep that in mind. So another way to stop the impulse spending is think cash. Pay with cash. No cash, no buy. Okay. Next thing is suggested to ask yourself questions. Okay. Recognize that this is it's an emotional purchase. Okay. And then when you recognize that and you realize that, 40 to 80% of us do these impulse buyings. Okay. Then start asking yourself why. Why am I buying this? Is this helping my issue? Let's use for an example. You had a bad day and you got it with your boss, and you really want to feel good and make yourself feel better about yourself. So after work, you're upset and you're going to do some retail therapy. And I'm going to the mall. You're walking around Kohl's and you see stuff and you start picking stuff up and you're just walking around. While you're walking around, ask yourself and picking up items. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Okay. Is this helping the situation with my boss? I'm here spending more money and may have to work with the people that I really don't care about a little bit longer care for because they upset me and I'm spending more money. Is that solving your problem? It's not. It's actually causing more problems because now you're out of budget. Okay, now you're in more debt. Now you have spent more money. So being more minded about why you're doing that. Ask yourself, okay, are they unplanned purchases? Meaning, did I plan to buy this? Did I plan this in my budget? Did I mean to go to Kohl's after work today? Let me think. No, I didn't mean to do that today. Let me put these things back and go home. Okay. Are these things that you're buying a want or a need? Do I need another pair of shoes? I did this to myself. I'm looking, I'm like, oh my goodness, I got all these shoes. I got 2 feet. And most of the time that I spend in shoes, if I'm not home, is in my work shoes, right? But I only got 1 pair of work shoes, but I got all these other shoes that I hardly wear, but they're cute and I like them and they're comfortable. But when am I really wearing them? Right? So it was an impulse buy. I buying these things because they're cute. I like them. I wanted to look cute. Oh, it served its purpose for one event or whatever the case might be. And here they wherever they sit. Okay. What emotions are affecting your desire for the item? Right. Again, going back to that example, with the boss, you're having a bad day or whatnot. All right. What's causing me to go spend? What's causing me to go buy that? All right. Ask yourself when you do the browsing and stuff, is this the brand loyalty? All right. Did I see it advertised? Again, that purse that popped up on purple and white Coach purse that is so cute that I still want. Right. But I thought about it. Do I need this right now? So I have not, and I'm very proud of myself. So these things that I'm talking about, I'm trying first. I'm doing to myself first. Still haven't purchased it. So, why am I buying that? Why am I spending that money? Okay. And you also have to think about how are you going to feel after you buy it? Okay. Is this going to get you more upset? I've spent too much money now. I'm in more debt. Oh man, that credit card had a zero balance. Now I got another bill next month that I didn't want to pay. I just created something else. I created more debt. All right. So you always want to keep these things in mind to help you not to just be a compulsive spender. Just go out and buy to be buying things. Okay. I found another study here that had some tips as well. So I'm going to try to give you these tips as well here. One of their tips was to practice a 24-hour rule. Okay, to resist your brain's urge to buy something between your impulse and actually purchasing something. Again, giving yourself time to think about it. So you had that rough day at work today with your boss and you want to do some retail therapy. All right. And you're upset. You get off of work and you're driving home. You're on your way to the mall. Talk to yourself. No, let me think about this. Let me take a day and think about it before I go make that purchase. And 9 times out of 10, you can talk yourself out of it. And I'm a witness, and it does work because I obviously did that with that person. I wasn't doing it because I had an argument with my boss. I was just doing it because it was cute and I wanted the purse, an impulse buy. But no, I don't need that. You don't need another one. Sometimes you just gotta talk to yourself, speak over yourself. All right. Again, they said they're using the same things to use cash only. Oh, I like this one. They said find an accountable buddy. All right. So your buddy could be your spouse, your husband, or your wife when you guys are budgeting and things together. And okay, we'll go back to the example with the boss. You had a hard day with work in the boss today, and you get off work and oh my goodness, you head into the mall. Call your husband. Hey, such and such happened at work today. I'm about to go to the mall, do a little retail therapy. That buddy, your husband can say, well, honey, that's probably not a good idea. That's an impulse buy. It's not within budget, and hopefully your buddy will be able to help counsel you out of purchasing that thing. Not getting on you. Oh, don't do that. No, we don't want to be like that. And just to help them be more accountable. And you can be somebody else's buddy. Think about it. The consequences of that purchase, the consequences of that action before it happens. So I did like that. I like that, to find an accountable buddy, somebody that will help you and has the same mind and know your goals. It could even be a coworker, a coworker that that you have and knows the disagreement that you have with the boss, and they're your accountability financial partner. And you go to them, such and such happened. Yeah, but you don't want to share. You don't want to do that. Don't let them do that. Bring you to that level or whatnot, because that's only going to hurt you in the long run. You're going to get in more and more debt or things like that. Okay. So these are just some things that I looked up about our impulsive spending. All right. So keep in mind what it is. All right. And it is possible. All right. It is a thing to be an emotional shopper, an emotional spender, an impulse buyer off of how you're feeling, all right, to help you feel good about it. So we have to recognize it. And now that we realize that we might have these issues, now we know we got work to do to try to take care of it. Recognize it and take care of it. Try to make a plan. I'm not going to do that. All right, it's not within my budget. Get an accountability partner. Take time to think about it. Only purchase with cash. There's a lot of things that you can do to help you with that impulse buy. All right. I hope you enjoyed tonight's lesson. If you have any questions or whatnot, you can always leave it in the comments or text me or message me. Or if you have any other suggestions or ideas, I'd love to know what you or doing now that can help us to be more money minded. I would really greatly appreciate your feedback. Thank you. God bless y'all. You have a wonderful evening, and we'll be back with you again on next Friday. God bless.